Hello, how are we? I hope you're all doing well. Thank you, Sarah P, for putting the links up. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining. Please hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell on the way in. Just a reminder, we're streaming this on two channels. We're doing it on the Alternate Corner channel, but also the El Chappy Sports Show channel as well. So you can chat freely in either one. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining us. He's the ex-Michigan coach, yes, Sherrone Moore. It starts in a couple of minutes. Well, it starts at 2:00 Eastern, so we'll be going to that one. If you remember, he agreed to a plea deal, a no contest plea, but he's still facing up to potentially 6 months in jail. And for those that are totally new, he was fired from Michigan for having inappropriate relationships with his assistant, and then allegedly went to her house and allegedly trying to say that he was going to unalive himself and stuff like that. But yeah, he has taken a deal, and today is his sentencing. But as I say, he's still facing up to 6 months in jail. Is he going to have 6 months in jail? No. Is he more likely to have probation? Yes. But still, he could still face prison time. So whilst we do watch for the other one, how are we doing, Jen? Nice to see you, my darling. Whilst we still watch for the hearing to begin, let's refresh ourselves on what happened in the last one. So if I just get that stream up so we can see that. This was his last hearing. Let me get it here. Let's play a little bit of it so we remind ourselves what it's all about. Hang on, let me get up to that for a second and just boost the sound for all of you. I'll go to where we begin roughly around here.
Was rear-ended in a gas station parking lot. Everybody is fine, but I really appreciate everyone's patience, and it was not intentional. Thank you. Judge, I appreciate the opportunity to address the court about what has transpired and where we have arrived. This case, as is true with many cases, Your Honor, is alive and sort of moving and breathing. Investigation has been ongoing. An exchange of information has.
Just a reminder, this was from a few weeks ago. This is not the actual hearing right this minute. This is just a reminder.
It's also been ongoing. As a result of all of that, where we have arrived, based on what we now know, is that we feel the most appropriate charges to address the defendant's behavior on December 10th of 2025 are two additional counts 4 and 5. We would be seeking to add a count of what we call malicious use of a telecommunications device in the context of a domestic relationship, and then an additional count of trespass. Those are, as Your Honor is aware, misdemeanor matters. Your Honor, we have arrived at that as indicated based on a thorough review of the additional evolved evidence and investigation, as well as after consultation with, pursuant to our allegation, the Crime Victim Rights Act, consultation with the victim, largely through her representatives in this matter. Your Honor, one comment I would like to make specifically about the additional count of malicious use of a telecommunications device in the context of a domestic relationship. As this court is aware, but I would like to be clear for the record because of, I know, docket and calendaring purposes. Your Honor, we did not at the time of issuing initial charges in this matter, nor do we believe now, after additional evidence has been presented to us, do not believe that there is sufficient evidence to prove a count of domestic violence in this matter, not historically and not what happened on December 10th. So we are obligated, as this court is well aware, legally and ethically and morally to not charge that which we do not think we can prove. What we do believe the evidence supports is criminal misbehavior in the context of an intimate partner relationship, and that is why that tag-on is on the malicious use charge. Your Honor, it is my understanding that pursuant to adding those counts, that there will be a plea as a result of that, but I leave that to counsel.
Did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you so much. I'd like the record to be clear that the negotiated disposition involves a dismissal of the 3 charges that had been charged. That was not mentioned in the recitation by the prosecutor's office.
That is absolutely correct. The end result of where we land by adding on the counts is that my best understanding is that the defendant will enter a plea to those additional counts, and in exchange for that, we will absolutely dismiss the originally charged 3 counts. Thank you.
And that would be an entering of a no contest plea to count 4 and count 5 with the dismissal of count 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
The court does have before it a agreement form that indicates.
So there you go. That's why we're here today. He was facing a lot more time. Let's watch him actually speak here then. So.
If I may have him.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear in affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your name, please.
Sherrone Moore.
Mr. Moore, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading no contest to 2 misdemeanor charges. The first charge is the added count 4 of malicious use of a telecommunications device involving a domestic relationship. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months incarceration and a $1,000 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And also the added count 5 of trespass. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 30 days in jail and or a fine not to exceed $250. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
You understand where the no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
All right. 2 things about the no contest plea I have to make sure that you understand. First thing is that it first of all means that you're not further desirous of wanting to contest these 2 charges. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court is going to treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Basis for the no contest plea, counsel.
The basis for the no contest plea is civil liability.
Potential civil liability. All right.
Yes, civil litigation.
Okay.
Civil litigation.
More to the charge of malicious use of telecommunications device. How do you plead?
No contest.
To the charge of trespass. How do you plead?
No contest.
Now you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
I don't think he has executed any vice rights for I think he did actually.
I believe he did an arraignment.
And arraignment. Do you recall that, sir?
Not off the top of my head, sir.
Did you?
Not off the top of my head.
I have one that I printed up just so we can continue. I did go over the advice of rights form with my client yesterday. So him signing it now is acknowledging that he did review it yesterday.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any questions regarding any of the rights that are contained in it?
No, sir.
You understand that by pleading no contest, you're waiving or giving up the rights that are contained in it.
Yes, sir.
Particularly the rights that are contained under paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium, which are your trial rights. You understand that you're giving up that?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal all rights.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you cleared?
No, sir.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you in any way?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, sir.
and of your own free will.
Yes, sir.
The court has been provided and has reviewed thoroughly Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 25-25629. Counsel, any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No objection. No objection.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of these 2 offenses. Sir, I do have to advise you, between the time of my acceptance of your plea and the time of sentencing, if you commit any misconduct as defined under the Michigan court rules, you would first of all not be entitled to withdraw your plea. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And also, the court would not be bound by any sentence evaluation or recommendation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is counsel aware of any promises, threats, or other inducements which have led to this plea?
There are none, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
And has the court complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant?
Court has.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will accept the defendant's no contest plea to counts 4 and 5. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are hereby ordered dismissed. The pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered. Sentencing in this matter will be.
Will April 13th work?
Okay, that's the gist of it. So his 3 criminal charges were obviously dropped and replaced with misdemeanor ones. So the malicious use of a phone in a domestic relationship, and also the trespass one when he turned up after he was fired by Michigan. He turned up to his assistant's home and allegedly tried to unalive himself. So the max punishment is 6 months. He can't have more than 6 months in jail. Let me get the court up. And then what I'm going to do is put myself next to it and mute it for a second as we wait for it. So this is court now. Hang on, let me go here. Take this out. We can hear them in the background, which is fine a little bit. Hey, Rhonda. Let me leave it there a little bit so we can hear them a little bit there. Okay. So, yeah. So he has to, the judge will sentence him for both counts. The malicious use of a phone has up to 6 months, and the trespass is up to 30 days, but they will more than likely run concurrently. So if he is found, the judge might give him 30 days in jail, potentially. And I believe he did spend 1 day in jail. So that's time served for that 1 day. So he would then spend 28, 29 days in jail, potentially, that is. Now, again, is it likely this is his first offence? He's had report done on him. We don't know what that looks like yet. But when the judge comes out, he will have had a report. He will have looked at Sherrone Moore's mindset. Now, is the actual victim going to speak? She has the right to speak. Whether she decides to or not, she may decide against doing that. Now, if you don't know the victim, so technically, her contract was not renewed, aka she was basically fired. They did not renew it. So Michigan let it lapse in, I believe, January. So she's no longer employed with Michigan. As far as we know publicly, Sherrone Moore's wife is supporting him, in the public. Hello, Mia. Oh, thank you, Adine. Hope you're doing well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens after this, because once he puts this all behind him, the main thing for him was he did not want anything that would make him not be able to coach again, because if you have any sort of felony on your record, then it's very unlikely that you'll be able to coach again, especially in the university setting. It'd be very, very difficult to do so. So him pleading means that he gets a misdemeanors, not felony charges, which then means technically after this is cleared and wherever his sentence is, he'll be able to go back to coaching, whether that's in the NFL or whether that's in the college world. He has stated that he wants to go back and coach, so that's important for him. There's the media. There's zoning in so that when Sherrone Moore does arrive, we get to see him. So wait for that to happen. So yeah, I try to act up, but your YouTube is a party group, but I ignore whenever you act up in chat, people. I ignore you anyway, so it's fine. Act up as much as you want. I will be ignoring you. Okay. Anyone on Twitter, on X, please make sure that you come into chat, go to the El Chappie Sports Show, or go into the alternate corner, whichever one. I prefer the El Chappie Sports Show because that's more to do with sports. I see all chats, so I see all the chats. Hello, how are you doing, Colleen? Nice to see you, my darling. Hope you're doing well as well. I'm not sure about that one, Dave. Eastern Michigan. Oh, Dave is in the sports one. There he is. I'm not sure about Eastern Michigan. Maybe Michigan State, maybe. No, I think there is a sound point that he might get. Oh, why is my other video not monetized? I don't know why. There is an opportunity potentially. Is this no? That he may go. Can you imagine if he went to the LA Chargers to be with Jim Harbaugh, who was his ex, head coach, potentially, just to reset himself for a couple of years, get out of the limelight, go to California. His wife will enjoy California, just chill out over there and then come back to the college game. He's not going to be a head coach anytime soon. It's probably going to take several years before he has any sort of opportunities again in college football. Would he be an offensive coordinator? Probably not. Not for the foreseeable future, anyway. So I don't know. It might be good for him to go away and go to the NFL for a little bit. Go to the Green Bay Packers, I reckon, Dave. Dave Hamburger. Go to the Green Bay Packers. Stay there for a little bit. Because the Green Bay Packers seem to have got rid of most of their players, so we're not getting rid of most of their coaches as well. And they have actually got rid of most of their coaches. So I can see him in some sort of analyst role, because you also need to remember he's still being paid by Michigan. Now, I don't know what his contract situation is there, how many years he had left, I'm not sure. And how much he is owed, I'm not sure. Actually, is it easily attainable here? How but saying all this, I do know Michigan are trying to not pay him. Does Michigan owe Sherrone? So in Michigan, they're trying not to pay him. So Michigan owes him $13.89 million as part of the buyout following his termination. So it's nearly $14 million they owe him. That is a lot. Hello, Rhonda. Thank you for being in the sports show as well. That gets my watch hours up, so I appreciate that. That'll get my watch hours up. Thank you, my darling. So, they're trying to say that they shouldn't pay him because of conduct within the work. You're not allowed to have an affair, or you're not allowed to date any staff members within the football team. So I don't know. That's what they're trying to say, that he shouldn't be paid any of that money because of those reasons. So they will do everything they can to make sure that they do not pay him any money that they owe him. Right, I need to mute that for a second because it's doing my head in. I can hear everything they're saying. We'll keep an eye out on it anyway. So for that, right, we have got 80. Well, we did have 89 people have watched on Twitter. Please feel free, if you're still around, 90 now, to come into the El Chappie Sports Show, or just go to the El Chappie Sports Show on YouTube. You can chat freely there. By all means, join us. We've got 3 people at the El Chappie Sports Show YouTube channel at the minute, 2 now, somebody's left, and we've got 24 here at the alternate corner. So Please make sure you like and subscribe to all the channels. That would be very beneficial for me. Thank you very much. And, we're just waiting for Sherrone Moore to turn up now. He's a little bit late. The Judge Simpson, is Judge on there? What's going on? Why are they moving? No, nothing. Judge Simpson is a highly regarded trial judge in Michigan, and he has his own channel. He's very popular in the true crime community, but he's the one that will be sentencing today. So I do wonder what he will get. I can't fathom that he will get jail time. I think it's a first time offence that I'm aware of anyway. So I just can't see any jail time unless he wants to, put a show on and give him 30 days or something. I don't know. But it's more than likely he will just get a slap on the wrist and he'll probably get a 6 months suspended sentence, I imagine. So what that would mean, suspended sentence means that if he does anything inappropriate within the next 6 months or however long he does give, he won't give more than 6 months because, oh, here we go. Here we go. Is this somebody? Somebody's playing peekaboo. Oh, it's the officers. It's the officers outside playing peekaboo. There you go. Look at him, look at him. Hello. There's not. So he must be around there somewhere because there is movement with the officers in court. So he must be around somewhere. Let me just take another look here to see what I can find out here, and then I'll take a look on Twitter as well. So hang on. Okay, let me cancel that one. I'm just looking to see if there is any other movement. Restitution, I think, is $1,000, Dave. So I think it's $1,000. Sherrone Moore. Let's take a look here. No, nothing. I can't see anything yet anyway. No, which is fine. It's to be expected. It's unfortunate. It's frustrating because courts are normally take the time, and sometimes they don't start on time, which is frustrating because I like if they say 2 o'clock, start at 2 o'clock. So yeah, Dave, I don't think that's an issue, Dave. do you? 25,000. I don't think that's going to be an issue. She could charge a lot more than that. I don't think that's an issue. Let me just check on Twitter to see if there's any sightings of him there as well. See, I do this so that you don't have to. Hang on, I got Josie, man. Hang on. What's up? 3 charges. He's charged with hang on, just oh shit. Use of and Okay. Right. I need to share this on Twitter as well, don't I? Because I've just seen everyone else is sharing their streams and I'm not, so I need to do that. Give me a second so I can do that then, and then we'll get back to looking what else is there. You know, when you try to do something, it takes you forever to find it. Once I do find it though, it'll be fine. Right there, my channel. Let me just find it here. And then I'll share this on Twitter, then I can switch it back. Right. Share. Copy that. Home there. We're just waiting for him to turn up. It shouldn't be. I'll say, well, last time they were very late, if you remember. They were look at him. They were like probably 2 hours late last time when they did the plea deal. So we'll go through that again just in case people don't remember everything. So a few weeks ago, there was a hearing that was set. Let me just do this. Sure, I can't do two things at once. Sherrone Moore sentencing hearing live now. Post it, right, done. So there was a hearing, and essentially, so if you remember, probably a couple of months ago now, there was a hearing about a motion, because essentially what happened was if you remember, the lead investigator for this case had allegedly inappropriately not told the truth, the whole truth, and everything but the truth to the judge who put Sherrone on bail. Essentially, they didn't say to the presiding judge at the time, that the victim was also his assistant. So they alluded to the fact that there was like lots of phone calls from Sherrone harassing the victim. But what the defense was saying was, well, hang on, they were A, in a relationship, but B, she's his assistant, and they also had the bowl game coming up. So it's not out of the norm for him to phone her about work-related stuff. Now, the lead investigator never told the judge that there were work-related calls. So there's supposed to be there was a motion which the judge granted, that there would be a hearing to question the lead investigator and others about why they misled the court, blah, blah, blah. So we came to that hearing, and essentially what happened was we were delayed by about 2 hours, and the defense and prosecution came back and said, we have agreed to a plea deal, and that the 3 counts of felony charges will be dropped. And that means then there would no need to be any hearing with the victim or anybody, the lead investigator or anything. And instead, he would plead no contest, which is basically saying he's guilty, but he's saying it to these misdemeanors. The trespassing one, which is the most he can get for that is 30 days in jail. And the other one was, I got it here, was malicious use of, well, but basically malicious use of his phone in a domestic relationship. That was that one, and that would be the most he can get for that is 6 months in jail. And it says jail, not prison, so that's why I keep saying jail. So the most he can get is 6 months. Again, is it likely? No, but that's why we're here. they had to do some things then about his state of mind and stuff like that. Give the victim the opportunity to come along if she wants to, or to write a victim impact statement. So we'll see if she has done a victim impact statement, or whether she will actually be in court to give a victim impact statement. We'll see. Hello, Lefty. How are you? Nice to see you. Don't worry, Robert G. We'll still be here. You can zoom up and catch up. No problems at all. In there. It's all good. It's all gravy. There's nothing much we can do. We can just be waiting. We're not be waiting 2 hours like last time though. So that's something at least. You know? Because it was unbearable last week. We didn't know what was going on. Again, let me just check, because sometimes they will update Twitter and say, you know, Sherrone Moore was in the building and stuff like that. So let me just double check that one and see. I will do it all for you people. Don't have to worry about anything here. I will do. It's interesting to me because there's so many people on Twitter now that really don't understand what's going on today. They really don't know what's going on. People are giving false information out there and stuff about it, which I don't understand. But whatever. Okay. Move that. See you, Lefty. I don't know what he is. I don't know what Judge Simpson is, to be quite honest with you. Get better soon, Rhonda. Hope the pain surpasses, but it might take a couple of days, but hopefully you get over the pain very, very quickly. Oh, it's the waiting. Hang on. I have to be much nicer because if you've noticed, in my other channel, we don't get anybody joining. So I'm trying to get a channel built up on sports. So if you're interested in sports and want to hear more stuff, we've got Stefan Diggs coming up as well. Come and join us on the El Chappie Sports Show. That would be amazing. I have learned my lesson on the alternate corner one because that one has gone to pot. So I'm trying to keep this one more clean, the El Chappie Sports one, for sure, because it does have an impact on, you know, when people join or not. So is the sports channel monetized? No, it's not. I need 500, I believe, 500 subscribers, and I think I got 82, and I need 3,000 hours, and I've got, I think, 100 hours. So, but it's, again, it's fine though. I'm not looking to get monetized. That's not, I'm far away from that. I'm not even looking for that at the minute. I want to try and build that content freely, and it's doing well on the shorts. I just need to build the live streams and also videos as well. But that will come. I want to make it organic though. Do you know what I mean? So if people are watching this and you're interested in sports, then go over to the El Chappie Sports Show. I would really appreciate that. We do try and put sporting content out every day. I will be doing more of the draft stuff over there when I can. And when it does come out, and I do try and keep it quite clean over there as well. Right. Still nothing. And I see people out on Twitter. A lot of you on Twitter, feel free to join us on YouTube. I'll try and actually get that link for the people on Twitter. Let me get the link for you guys on Twitter, because you are over there, and I can post a link, which is easy to do. Right, so I have posted that there for all of you. If there is anybody on the alternate corner that needs it, that is the link to the El Chappie Sports Show as well, if you did need to come over. And this is it on Twitter. You see the X at the bottom? It's quite cool. See if we can get any hot takes going over hot mics. Let me just set this up already. There you go. That's how I watch it. So, if you are enjoying the stream, please make sure that you hit the like button and also hit that subscribe button on the way in. And please make sure that you hit the notification bell and press all for all content, whichever channel you're on. There's still no movement. There's still no sign. It's annoying that we have to wait this long, but all good things come to those that wait, they say. But I don't know how long we've got to wait for. Okay, let's have another look then on Twitter. No, still no announcement that he's actually in court. Sometimes people would say, "Oh, Sherrone Moore has arrived," because there will be people at the courthouse that can, tell us when he's arrived. You should show your feet in the sports channel, but it grows super fast. Yeah, no, I don't think that will work. Hang on, I need to message back Josie here. Let me message Josie back. Okay, there you go. I have to message Josie back to keep myself out of trouble. Otherwise, I get a row. I don't get a row. It needs no therapy. Right, Wolf, was there any questions about any of this? Where do you think he's going to land? Oh, hang on. Let me put a poll up. Oh, I can't do multiple polls, can I? What's wrong, Dave? Also, Dave, don't do that. Why are you saying stuff like that for? I don't know what you're on about, Dave. I can't see any comments from you, Dave. So I'm gonna have to mod Dave, I think, in the other one. Right, I'm going to delete the last message, David. Oh, Josie's here, so it's fine. How you doing, Josie? I did see you pop in, actually. Now remember. Go get Dave. I know, I just have to delete. I had to delete his last message. I couldn't see your message, no, Dave. I couldn't see it. Oops. Lol. Hey, Josie. My YouTube's acting up again. Lol, can't see my messages. No, I couldn't see it. Sometimes YouTube plays up a little bit and messages don't come through. So I did have to moderate David a little bit there just now, but it's fine. We're all waiting. The benefit of this is that's fine, Dave. It's fine. I've deleted it as well, so don't worry. Bonus of this is when people message me, like Josie messaged me, I can just respond to her. It is good. Like, I forget sometimes that I can text and respond, and like, well, I know. So. Right, let's have a look. I'll Google some stuff here, see if there's anything gonna come up. There you go. You're on top messages, Dave. There you go. That explains it. So, allegedly, 5 things to know, apparently. Scheduled for sentencing today on Tuesday, and no contest plea was put in to 2 charges related to inappropriate behavior involving a staff member, which resulted in his termination. More face charges, right? Fine. So, I'm just reading this from. According to Michigan law, the highest penalty for the malicious use of telecommunications, aka his phone, is 6 months of incarceration. In the case of criminal trespassing, the maximum sentence is 30 days. Right, well, I've already said that, so that's fine. Generally, victims or their relatives are provided with a chance to deliver a statement during sentencing, so victim impact statements. And I also said that. So am I more clever than Michigan law? I'm not sure. Currently, there are no confirmed speakers. As of 30 minutes ago, there are no confirmed speakers scheduled for Moore's hearing. So the victim, as is current, is not scheduled, or at least the court have not told the media that they are scheduled. Last month, Shiva issued a statement indicating that the university leadership did not safeguard her from years of manipulation, harassment, and exploitation by Moore, reported People magazine. So that's the victim in this, the Shiva. She's saying that Michigan did not protect her. I do think they probably did mess around because I don't really know what happened, but they literally just kicked her out the door. So, which is a little bit of a crappy situation to be in. In a statement, Shiva's legal team said that Moore held enormous power over her professional life as the head football coach of one of the nation's most prominent college football programs. The power imbalance between a powerful head coach and a subordinate employee created an environment where our client felt pressured, intimidated, and unable to escape conduct that should never occur in any workplace, let alone at a public university. The statement added, seeking probe against Moore. Right, okay, let's play devil's advocate here for a second, right? The whole reason that she was in the position she was in was because she was sleeping with the head coach. She was an assistant at the low level, and she was earning very basic money in that level. As soon as she started sleeping with Moore, he made her his assistant, and she was paid, I think, roughly just short of $100,000 a year. So is she going to be employed in that position without sleeping with the head coach? No. So in that regard, she is right. He does hold power over her role. But at the same time, if she did not sleep with him, she probably would still be employed there. Yes, at a lesser pay level, but there's something about working your way up the ladder sometimes, or going to other places. You don't necessarily have to, sleep with the head coach and just accelerate your career. Look what happened with my at Ohio State, never coached again. That's very true as well. But also, I think he was ready to go as well. I think that was, I was surprised that he coached for the Jaguars, but there we are. I think he's in the right place now. Now, with Sherrone Moore going to TV instead of coaching, don't zoom in. So, she worked right, yeah. So I don't know. I can look at it both ways. I think she was messed up because they didn't protect her. She obviously did the right thing and went through the right channels about, his conduct. They were happy because, if I'm being honest with you, I think they wanted to get rid of him anyway. Sherrone Moore was not the answer in Michigan. They only kept him there because who wanted to go into that mess after Harbaugh with all the fines they were going to be getting and stuff like that. So he was a lame duck, basically. And I think they were ready then to get rid of him. This was a great excuse to get rid of him. And then they got rid of him, tried not to pay him the $14 million they owe him. And also the girl that put him on the block just dismissed it and said, you know what, we want rid of you as well. That's a little bit crappy to do, Her career, it has basically ended, Oh, here we go. Is this it?
Yeah, we did that report all the time.
There you go. Hello. Right, so I did get too excited there. I thought that was they're either media or someone with a date. Jeepers. Thank you to the 5 at the sports one as well. It's just that it's the waiting that's harder. But yeah, what are we talking about? Yeah, so I think it's a little bit of a crappy position to be in if you were her. I do get that. I do understand that bit. But also, I also think she's an adult. She knows what she's doing as well, and she does have a choice at times. Everyone has temptations to try and get the fast track in their employment. Not everyone has to take it. So that's just my tuppence on it. Just yeah. But overall, I do think I have a little bit of sympathy for, because he's going to get a job no matter what, somewhere. Now, again, he will, if he can't get a college job or a media job, he's going to be in LA with the Chargers. And to be quite honest with you, if I were him, I would go over to LA and be with the Chargers. Or if Jib is like, you know what, let's not associate ourselves, he'll probably go over to the Giants to be with his brother John. So he does have opportunities in different places, but there will be other head coaches that will give him opportunities as well. Even he could go to Baltimore because he obviously knows their head coach as well, because he used to be the defensive coordinator in Michigan, whilst he was the offensive coordinator in Michigan. So, or wherever he was at the time. So, yeah. There's a lot of opportunities for him, I think. The important thing was that he didn't have any felonies. So that was important, and he's got no felonies now, just misdemeanors. And I think the judge knows that he just needs to put this under the line underneath everything and move on. So I think that would be the case here. What are your thoughts? What does everyone think? Everyone's gone quiet. Any other takes? Any hot takes? Where do you think he'll end up? Or do you think he'll take a break from coaching and work on his relationship? Because ultimately, his wife is, like, let's be honest, his wife is standing by him publicly, but privately, do you know what I mean? She's not going to be too happy. Let's be honest. How would you ladies or men? How would you like your partners to be cheating on you? He's got 3 daughters, and yeah, that's not. So he might actually lean towards, I'm gonna work with my family for the next year or 2. I don't think he can do more than a year. I think a year out will be fine. And Bad Daza says she will make him pay. I think so, deservedly so, because she's backing him publicly, and I think she's probably backing him. And this is just my perception. She's probably backing him because of the children. You know, she probably wants to do what's right for the children, but he's got a lot of groveling. He's got a lot of things to make up, and that's why he may take a year or so out of coaching, or he may take a vast career change. But he has stated he wants to stay in coaching, so take some time away now and get back into it in November, December, and that's why I think it'd be beneficial for him to keep his role, but become an analyst or something in a with the NFL, or just background role within another team. So, some people will be like, "Oh, you can't do that," and no, you definitely can. So lots of people, coaches, done a lot of not so nice things, and they're still coaching. Thank you for being back. Well, thank you for being there, and thank you. You could chat in there. Just as I say, I try and keep it more clean, because I do think we get punished a lot for the alternate corner stream. So, as much as I love some of you, I just try and separate them both. I don't want this channel to be ruined like the other one. So that's the main reason. Also, no, I don't think it does work. Sarah P will know this. Will the sports one have ads? No, sports one, you shouldn't have any ads coming up there, Sarah P. So if you don't have YouTube Premium, if you watch it on the El Chapi Sports Show, there should be no ads, because it's not monetized. Unless YouTube just do automatically. This is probably the most sensible thing that we could say. A relationship is like a mirror. Once it's broken, it can't go back the way it was. You could never get the trust back. That's very true. That is very, very true. It makes me sad every time you say we ruined it. Not you ruined it. I ruined the channel. I ruined the channel years ago. Don't say others is ruined. We are heart and soul crazy. Oh, I shouldn't put that up. No, I don't mean you guys ruined it. It's just it doesn't go in the algorithm. It doesn't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But no, I'm not saying that you guys ruined it. Yeah, okay. So technically, you could literally watch it on there. Then not have any ads. So that's good for you. That's good for you, Sarah P. I don't even know where you're watching it, because you're a mod on both of them. So I don't actually know where you're watching. But you should watch it on the other one, on the sports one, because you get ad free. Oh, thank you, Sarah P. See? Watching both streams. Thank you. Oh, come on. Let's get it on. Let's get going, people. Why do they keep making us wait? So he will be in a different courtroom right now, just waiting. So I imagine both attorneys are either with the judge right now, because I don't really understand why the judge is not here. Hang on, let's take a look here for a second. No. I was going to see if he was live, and he's not, so. Because there's nothing to discuss, really, unless they're trying to make arguments outside the presence of anybody in chambers. Maybe the judge wants to know what are they both looking at and stuff. what kind of sentence, because both sides are going to argue for certain amount of sentence. So the prosecution may argue for 3 months of jail time for him, but the defense will probably argue for, just probation. They probably will argue for time served because he's done 1 day in jail, sorry. So they probably will argue time served, Your Honor. But I think I imagine he would get at least some probation. But we have seen judges trying to, show others that you shouldn't be doing these kind of stuff. So he might show a warning and he could give him a week in jail. Now, again, I do not believe that he will get any jail time. So I do think that he will get probation time, unless there's something we don't know. Then that's a little bit different. If there's something we don't know about, then maybe, might warrant a little bit more time. And the fact, unless something's changed, there's no victim impact statements at all. That's also interesting, because I thought there might be a written one by the victim, but there might be. We just don't know about it yet. But it's been reported so far that there's no victim impact statements being read out. Oh, there's some phones out, so let's. If you see, this guy's got his phone out down the bottom there. Or is that a woman? So if people got their phones out, that means something's happening. Every time I say that, nothing happens, but still. And again, nothing happens. But I'm trying to look at all the. Oh! He's saying eyes. Can you see him? Have you got your eyes on him? Is that what he means? Is he outside and he's just waiting to come in? I don't know what it means. Thank you for the 10 that are over in the El Chappie Sports Show. I appreciate that. Dave, you can say that, but Dave's back on the other one now. But he's already pled no contest. So technically, you're right, he is guilty. I don't like this no contest stuff, but I suppose they have to be done. It's just depending now if you want to set an example on him or not. Someone said we get used to being patient. Yeah, we have to be with this court. This is annoying. I haven't seen a court like this before where they take forever. This is the last couple of hearings now they've taken their time. Let's see if there's anything. Let's take a look. Nope, nothing. Nothing's been reported anyway, so I know you're all sick of my voice already, but I mean, there's not much I can do right now. Dave, there are 7 people at the other chat. I mean, people could chat to the other one, just don't be raunchy and be, speak tidily. But again, it's my fault, so don't worry about it. The problem is, Josie, I don't know which one you mean. Because you're a mod in both, so they both issues. I mean, so Josie is here, she means the other chat. Happy days. And Jen is. I finally get a minute to hop on, and Boss hops over. There you go. Hey, Dave. Oh, thank you very much, Miss Lynn. Hello to you. Hello, everyone that's in that chat as well. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. So the best thing is that both channels on Twitter, if you speak on any of them, they all come into the one chat for me. I have the same chat. So I don't know where, like, I do know Dave when Dave does it, because he's a member on one and not the other one. But Josie and Sarah P, I don't know, because they're a mod on both. So I never know which one they're chatting in. We have two streams. We have the alternate corner and we have the El Chappie Sports Show on. Both streams going. I need to get some viewing hours on the El Chappie Sports one, and hopefully try and get some people to subscribe. And then the alternate corner one is up, because if people want to chat freely in the alternate corner one, you can do, just be yourselves. I just ask that the El Chappie Sports one, people are more respectful. And that's hard for some people, obviously, but that's but yeah. Still waiting. Right, hang on then. Let me have a look here to see what's. Oh. No new subscribers, okay. No new subscribers, that's fine. Oh, but we've got 12 over there now. Thank you, people. Okay, our watch hours right there. Every minute you spend there is a minute towards my watch hours, so I appreciate you. I got tickets to the number 5 Oregon State Beavers and the 20 Oregon Ducks at the stadium. Oh, there you go. Games rained out. Is that baseball then? Yeah. Hi, Dave. How are you, sir? Nice to see you, buddy.
No.
As always, nice to see you, Dave. We were talking earlier on what's going to happen to Sherrone. Is he going to stay in coach? Where's he going to stay in coaching, NFL level or college level? Oh, there you go. 13 at the El Chappie Sports Show. We need to got more there than here in the alternate corner one. Got 21 at the alternate corner one. There's movement because it's freaking, so. Again, let's have a look here. Okay, because it's so many, can I do this here then? I'll put the poll up in the El Chappie one because there's more. Let's put a poll up to see what you guys think. What will Sherrone Moore do next? Coach in the NFL. So there's a lot more movement now. Take a year out. Okay, I've started a poll on the El Chappie Sports Show. The poll is: what will Sherrone Moore do next? Coach in the NFL, coach at college level, or take a year out? Let's see what you all think. That's interesting. Or if you think of anything else, put it in the chat. You can put it in either chat, just to see what you all think. So first vote says take a year out. Okay, interesting. Hello, Sue. How are you, my darling? Nice to see you. Thank you very much, Miss Lynn. I appreciate that, my darling. Hello, Sue. Congratulations to Sue's husband who lost 100 pounds of weight. So congratulations to him. I've lost 32 pounds now. So congratulations to me. I think it is anyway. It's around that anyway. This is the sport chat. Which one's what? I don't know which chat I'm in all chats. Yeah, no, Dave. Everyone knows he's not going to be a head coach. Here we go. Is this him? Everyone knows he won't be a head coach. I meant coaching, Dave. He's not going to be head coach in the NFL or college football next. Joy. Thank you, Sarah P. Dave Umberger is unbelievable. I wouldn't be surprised. He said, Dave, that he wants to go straight back into coaching, Dave. But I don't know. Maybe he needs to take. But it's not a year out because next season will begin again in like January. So he might be picked up again in like December, January time. Also, there's not much ethics in college football. If a team believes that you can help them win, they'll take you, you know. Let's see what the poll is coming out as now. 5 votes. 5 of you say take a year out. Okay, interesting. Interesting. I think that's the right move. Oh, there you go. Someone there with Michigan. Is he taking a selfie or is he? Does he not realize he's not allowed to take photos in court? But rules for maybe he's media. In fairness, if he's media, he is allowed to. But I mean, I'm not really sure what he's trying to do there. He's a Michigan fan though, so that's why I imagine he is there. He's a vet too. Okay, well, thank you for your service. I did not know that he was a vet. I did not know that he was a vet, so I'll take your word for it. No worries at all, Sue. And you're doing well, I heard as well, so good luck to you as well, Sue. In my opinion, Lexi says, in my opinion, he's a vet. Is this it? No. Is this anyone? No. No offense to them, but I don't really care. Oh, thank you, Mexi Texi, for gifting 10 Alternate Corner memberships. I appreciate you, Mexi. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. I do appreciate that. And congratulations to, I don't know, because I haven't got the, hang on. Let me tell you who has become members of the Alternate Corner. I'll tell you now, once I get. Right, let me mute that. Congratulations to Miss Lynn Dance. Miss Lynn's got one. Jess 203, Purple Jesus Man, Amanda, Igari, Zach, Big CB. Is this him coming now? Ashley Oaks, Jill Bryan, Blue Skies, and Bob E. Villa. Congratulations to you all. Here he comes. Here he comes. There she is. She's beautiful as well, by the way. Yes, Miss Lynn, you got one. So he's still in dispute. He's owed just under 14 million, but they haven't paid him. They don't want to pay him the 14 million because of his misconduct. Anyway, I'm going to shut up for a little bit whilst we watch this now. Good work to you as well, Sue. £54 Sue was lost. Well done, you, my darling. She was a lot younger, Dave. Very similar to her, actually, but just younger. Just wait for the judge now, and then we'll be going. He should be out momentarily. Then I will mute myself then. I don't know who's that with her, maybe I really don't know. And for anyone, any Cardinal supporters, any Arizona Cardinal supporters, just so you know, quarterback Drew Waller from Penn State is visiting the Cardinals today on one of their 30 visits. So any Cardinals fans, aka Nate, Josie, probably will want to know that Drew Waller is having his 30 visit there today. The only quarterback that I'm aware of that has been there. He looks good, nice suit. He does look good. I think also, sorry, I think Ty Simpson was there yesterday or the day before or something with someone else. Because,
All right.
here we go.
14A, District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now in session. All those having business before the court are here. The Honorable Judge takes 30 seconds.
You may be seated. Court does call the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sherrone Moore. Counsel, state your appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Katie Rosemersky for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ellen Michaels, on behalf of Sherrone Moore, who is present in court. Please state your name for the court.
Sherrone Moore.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Date and time set for sentencing. And parties, are they ready to proceed?
We are.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed.
All right. Whoever would like to go first? Do the people have anything that they would like to say before I do impose sentence? Not that you have to, but
I appreciate that, Your Honor. I don't have much to say, except to underscore that we arrived here because these charges are ultimately what was supported by both the facts and the law. We appreciate the court's efforts in communicating with both sides. Your Honor, we trust this court's decision-making as it comes to imposing the sentence. And so I don't have anything to say in terms of what we want you to impose or what we expect for you to impose. I trust that. I do, however, feel that I would be remiss in my duty if I did not underscore for the court and for the record that there was a young woman that was deeply impacted by the defendant's choices on December 10th of last year. I just want to make sure that we state that for the record, and I am confident that Your Honor will take that into consideration to the extent that it is important and appropriate and necessary in imposing your sentence. And I appreciate that opportunity. Thank you, Judge.
Counsel?
Thank you very much.
Just so that we're clear on the record, you received a copy of the pre-sentence investigation and report.
I will address that when I get to the podium.
All right, very good.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. First and foremost, with regards to the pre-sentence investigation report that was submitted to me by your probation department, there are no additions, corrections, or deletions.
Thank you.
There are a few things that I would like this court to know about Sherrone Moore. Sherrone Moore is the only child of immigrant parents who came to this country for a better life. He grew up in a home marked by uncertainty. His father, an Air Force serviceman, was deployed overseas for long stretches, leaving his mother to carry all the responsibilities at home. That shaped it. It taught him resilience, responsibility, and the importance of family. Sherrone didn't always fit in. Him confidence, direction, and ultimately a purpose. That purpose became coaching, not for attention or status, but to help young men grow on the field and off. He teaches that success comes from facing challenges head on and handling adversity the right way. I have come to know Sherrone over the last few months. I have seen how he responds when things are at their hardest. He has handled adversity with grace and with dignity. Since this incident, Sherrone has engaged in counseling, gained insight into his life, and developed tools to guide him forward. He has recentered himself around his family, and he has taken responsibility, expressing genuine remorse to those closest to him, the people most affected by his actions. Your Honor, this is a man who is not defined by this moment, but by how he has responded to it. For these reasons, I ask this court to grant a deferral and place Sherrone Moore on probation. It is an appropriate sentence given the nature of the offense and Sherrone Moore's lack of any prior criminal history. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And because it was a no contest plea, I just want to make sure for purposes of the record, Mr. Moore does not wish to address the court. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right.
I apologize. He has a short statement to make to the court, which he'll do now.
Your Honor, first of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for his grace and guidance during this difficult time. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Kelly, for her support, her strength, and standing by me. I want to thank this court and its staff for their time and consideration. I'm grateful to my attorney, Ellen Michaels, for her guidance. I've taken this process very seriously and work closely with the probation department to prepare for today's sentencing. I'm ready to proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. There was nothing additional from probation, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Blair. Before I impose the sentence in this case, I think that there are a few things from this court's perspective where I think need to be pointed out of the purpose here of what the court's going to do and what the court's not going to do. I want to make it very clear that the morality of what transpired, that's not something for the court to decide. I am not passing judgment on that course of conduct. I may have my own views on that, but I'm not here to pass judgment on that. That's way above, frankly, my pay grade. At some point regarding the conduct that is not before this court, the morality of it and the like, is going to ultimately be left to this defendant and his God to make that determination, as well as the grace and forgiveness that might be bestowed upon him if deserving by his wife. What the court is also not doing, and what is not my role here, and not part of my bailiwick, and it seems to have been so pervasive in this case, is to put a thumb on the scale of what might be, maybe, future litigation involving the University of Michigan. That is not the world or realm I'm operating in at this particular point in time, and not part of this judgment and what I end up with. I think it's also important to point out, because I don't look at the news very much, but in looking at how people may misinterpret what has occurred here, and I want and feel it necessary to make that clear. There are certainly those that believe that as the charges were initially filed, the 3 charges of home invasion third, the stalking charge, and the entry without permission charge, that there's a view that they shouldn't have been filed. And then there's a view that, well, should have stuck with it. I will commend counsel on this case because I think they have both shown courage, but particularly I want to address the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office and their courage in doing what is right. The reality of this case is the people, if they had wanted to, I would imagine, could have just decided to proceed with this case and just let the chips fall where they may. I think, as Mr. Smirski stated before, that is not their obligation. Their obligation is to do justice and to do what is right. At the very beginning of this case, so that people can understand it, the facts as they knew them supported the filing of the charges. I've been fortunate or unfortunate in this case to be able to see a lot more than I would in a normal case, this having been a no contest plea and a lot of information being provided to this court to determine whether or not there was a factual basis. But I want to make it clear that when the charges were filed, they were appropriate. But as with any case, as more facts become known and as more things happen, the facts and the analysis change. Now, I don't say any of what I'm about to say to try to bash anybody or to do anything, but I say it for the purposes of so that people can understand what the prosecutor's office was looking at. They had filed these 3 charges. The first 2, the first being the home invasion third, and then the stalking charge, with the belief that on the 8th of December, 2025, that Ms. Shiver had informed Mr. Moore that some way that she no longer wanted contact. Now, with that, certainly they may be able to proceed with if there's attempted contact or other things that then occur by Mr. Moore's conduct. The people may have been able to proceed with a stalking charge. Stop for a moment and just tell you that what is called a predicate offense, or the underlying offense for the home invasion third, the misdemeanor, along with the home invasion or entering a home, that the stalking charge had to be maintained. But here's what the people found out. And I will say that when the police, Pittsfield Township, are interviewing and they're going through, they are, I watched, I don't know how many hours of video in this case. And I will tell you that they were not only professional, they attempted to try to get to the bottom of it. At some points, their efforts seemed thwarted. That's my view. And that they were trying to get answers to a lot of different things. But as it was presented to them and they ultimately presented to the prosecutor, on the 8th of December, Ms. Shriver had indicated in her own words to them that at, I believe she said 6 a.m., or I think she specified that at 6:10 a.m., had told him that there wasn't going to be any more contact. And then any contact or attempted contact or anything along those lines would then potentially constitute a stalking charge. When the police department asked for Ms. Shriver's phone, and I'm not saying that this is Ms. Shriver because she didn't have possession of her phone, they wanted the call logs, they never got it. And there may have been a reason for that, I don't know, but they never got the call logs for the phone. But maybe there were those that thought if they didn't have the call logs, maybe they wouldn't be able to see certain things. Well, maybe to many chagrin, there's such things as search warrants and other things where one can get these logs. And I go back to the 8th, because again, I want to explain why the people did what they did. The 8th at 6:10, 6 a.m., there is supposedly this communication to Mr. Moore that he should no longer have any contact. The problem was that could not have been true. And the reason it couldn't have been true and what the people saw is that after a call on the 7th, approximately 2:15, for over an hour, well, for 83 minutes between Ms. Shriver and Mr. Moore. After that call, when it gets to the 8th, and remember it's 6 a.m. is what the people are told. There was a call at 2:49 p.m. connected for 7 minutes between Mr. Moore and Ms. Shriver. There was then an additional call at 3:29 p.m. that connected for 4 minutes between Mr. Moore and Ms. Shriver. Those are outgoing calls from Mr. Moore to her. At 3:41 p.m. on that date, there is an incoming call from her to him for 11 minutes. There is then at 7:41 p.m. an outgoing call for 27 minutes from Mr. Moore to Ms. Shriver. Here's what the people realize. The very foundation of the stalking charge, which would have been the telling not to contact me on the 8th, there is no call on the 8th. But the very foundation, it couldn't have happened. The people realized that when they got that information. Bottom line, by necessity then, the stalking charge would fail. If the stalking charge fails, it being the predicate for the felony also had to fail. And people knew this, and they did the right thing by making sure that that charge did not go forth. Because in good faith, legally, morally, ethically, they could not proceed on that. And they knew it. They didn't try to hide the ball. They didn't try to do any of that. They didn't say, well, we're still going ahead. We're just going to put him through the pig. They didn't do any of that. They did the right thing. The third charge, which was the illegal entry to the premises, also had its problems. And I'm not going to go through sort of an extended analysis, but suffice it to say that Mr. Moore had access to those premises. That access was granted by Ms. Shriver. She gave him the code to the door. It wasn't just a key. He had the code to enter the premises. People in analyzing it said they weren't going to proceed on that either. because that was inconsistent with what was being told to them. Now, having said that, I hope that people can understand why this case ended up where it did. At that point, and I have to say from the defense side, there may have been those that would have just proceeded with the case, let it become back as a not guilty and try to be done with it, but that's not what they did. They realized that there were certain wrongs that had occurred. The parties came together, and there certainly between them were decisions on what charges would be appropriate. After reviewing everything so that people understand, it was reviewed by the prosecutor, got reviewed by the defense, and this court itself reviewed all of the reports. The right thing happened. The charges, the criminal charges that this defendant, Mr. Moore, would have been guilty of, he pled to. No more, no less. In any sentencing, it is important that the court consider a number of different factors. I look at the defendant. I look at the effect that the proceeding and the defendant's conduct had on the victim in the case, in this case, Ms. Shriver. And in that, try to come to a resolution in my mind as to what would be an appropriate sentence. In this state, there are impact statements that are given so that the court can hear the victim and the victim's voice, the one that was wronged by the conduct, so that you could hear it. I truly would have preferred to hear Ms. Shriver's voice much more clearly and much more directly. I regrettably, rightly or wrongly, legitimately or not, her voice for the court to hear has been clouded. But through my probation department and the like, I have a sense of what are concerns for Ms. Shriver. One of those concerns is that she won't be heard, and that the defendant will not be held accountable in any way. And it was interesting to me that there was at least an indication that a communication to the court prior to the victim's impact statement that I was not aware of prior to receiving the communication that had occurred in this courtroom. I was not on the bench at the time. But where an individual who Ms. Shriver and her people believed were part of the court had gone up to Mr. Moore, shook his hand, and gave him a hug. I want to make it real clear so that it's the individual that did that was a member of the sheriff's office here, is not a member of the court, is in no way connected to me or this court, and that I was not even aware that I was not in the room. I actually had to go and see it online. That should never have occurred. Not because it didn't have or would have had an effect on this court. It shouldn't have occurred because of its appearance of occurring. I can assure Ms. Shriver that that has no impact on me, and that having been brought to my attention, I will be dealing with those in the sheriff's office regarding that conduct, because it can't happen here. So that's one thing. But Schreiber also asked for the strictest punishment that this court could give. Incarceration is usually left to those times where an individual, this court would believe, continues to pose a risk to society or others, or an individual that this court believes can't in some way conform themselves to the norms of how we should operate in society. I don't believe, as I look at the entirety of this case, that an incarceration would be an appropriate sentence in this case. Now, having said that, should there be, and I think that a probationary sentence is appropriate, but should there be any violation, and I will send my direct warning to you, Mr. Moore, that should there be a violation, all bets are off the table. I don't like sending people to jail, but I will not have a problem. As the prosecutor has indicated, this court is very mindful that that day, December 10th, a number of things happened that changed people's lives. In imposing a probationary sentence, I would let Ms. Schreiber know that this court is not by any means lessening the impact of those events. Frankly, Mr. Moore, you had no right to do what you did. I know that she was placed in fear. It was a traumatic experience that day for you. It was certainly a traumatic experience for her, but you had no right to spread your pain to her. And as I was going through this sentencing, there were a number of letters, a number of things presented to the court in attempting to try to decide upon the appropriate sentence. There is a certain irony in a lot of this, and it's a big one, in my opinion. The person, quite frankly, Mr. Moore, that is saving you from the full wrath of this court is the one you betrayed. I don't know where your wife, Kelly, finds her strength. When all of the circumstances are happening, and they're happening to her, and she's absorbing them in real time. She not once loses her focus. She not once bats an eye to sort of doubt you. She not once wants something terrible to happen to her. As I listened to the terror in her voice that day, I don't think there would be anybody in the world that, given all of the circumstances, would have blamed her if she just said, I don't care. It's not what she did. She didn't know where you were, but she was going to tell the police, try to do this to find him. And she said something that was remarkable, and that is just tell him I love him and to come home.
Incredible. And when you and you know, so I'm listening on one of the calls, listening to her. I can hear your babies in the background. She's what she had to deal with was just an incredible burden. She didn't bat an eye. The letter that she wrote to the court, and there were a number of them, and like I said, I went through all of them. Certainly had the biggest impact on this court and what I should impose. I figure in certain ways that she was just pointing forward, leaning on her faith, and trying to put her family and find a way forward for her family, which was inclusive of you. I think in life, sometimes people take a lot for granted. You, sir, take her for granted. I am amazed by you, Miss Moore. I truly am. I don't know where it comes from. I think, in all honesty, given all the hurt and pain, that if we had more people like you in the world, I may be out of a job, but I think this world would be a better place. Therefore, the sentence of the court as to count 4, that I'm going to place the defendant on an 18-month probationary term, 18 months under the prosecutor deferred sentence. You are to pay $555 fines and court costs. We will take those court costs out of the bond. You are to pay $540 probation oversight fees. Those will also be taken from the bond. There is to be no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to continue mental health treatment, follow all recommended care with status reports to probation. You are to have no contact with Paige Shriver directly or indirectly, and not to have any contact through any third parties. You are not to refer to her on the internet. You are not to communicate her using any electronic device. Am I clear on that, sir?
Yes, sir.
You are not to go to any residence or employment of Paige Shriver. There is to be no assaultive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. There's to be no possession of any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. I'll schedule a review hearing that will be held April 14th to, actually the date is going to change, is it not, Ms. Famera?
Yes, Your Honor, it will be October 13th, 2027.
October 13th, 2027, 9 a.m. I will order 180 days in jail, credit for the 3 days you served. The balance is suspended. As to count 5, the trespassing, I will also place you on 18 months probationary term, 18 months under the prosecutor deferred sentence. You're to pay $250 fines and costs. That will be taken out of the bond. You are to comply with all terms as set forth and what I have enunciated in count 4. I will order 30 days in jail, credit for 3 days. The balance is suspended. to the people. Is there anything else from the people?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. Good luck, everyone. Court stands in recess.
All right.
Okay. And I think the court. He knows how lucky he's been to have her by his side. Ron, I like the name, Ron. I think that's how he is. I think that this is how the judge is. This is how he conducts his business. I think he likes to, because he knows cameras are on him. He knows that people want an explanation of what's happened. So he's trying to lay it out. I am glad that he laid it thick on his emotions to do with his wife. His wife literally. Not sure what's going on here. For the alternate corner people, once I end this stream, you'll be zoomed over to the next stream. Back to the other trial. For everyone else. She did hug him. But look, it's got to take time for them to be back to, you know, close-knit. Holding hands, leaving. I don't know what happened to the stream. Oh, there you go, they left. Thank you, Sarah. Anyway, that is everything from there. And just to round up, in case you did miss it, he is getting 18 months suspended sentence. He's back in court. I did tweet about it, so that's how I know. Let's go to Twitter for a second. I did tweet about it on the El Chappie Sports Show. Sherrone Moore receives a probationary sentence of 18 months from Judge Simpson. Also, the judge imposed $550 court costs and $540 probation oversight fees. He's also not allowed to drink alcohol, drugs, and has a no contact order with the victim. October 13th, 2027, 9 a.m. court date to review the probation. So if he does anything in between that, I'm confident he will be sentenced to prison time. So there is that. Well, he can coach during probation time if he wants to. That the probation doesn't stop him from coaching. He'd be allowed to do that if he wants to, that is. Do you know what I mean? He may decide not to, but he would be allowed to coach. So there you go. That is everything, people. Once again, thank you so much for joining me on this. That was Sherrone Moore. We'll still try and probably cover it in October of 2027 to see where we're at. But as you heard from the judge, anything that happens, he will be sentenced. And what we know about this judge, he's very fair. However, he's very stern, and he means it. I do know what he means about the sheriff office. I remember the hug that Sherrone and that officer had. So that officer will be a slap on the wrist for that as well. We also have Stefan Diggs coming up on the 4th of May. We'll try and cover it here if it does actually go to trial on the El Chappie Sports Show and the Alternate Corner. And also we have the James Pierce Jr. Trial upcoming as well, whenever that may be. I'll keep an eye out for that. There'll be a hearing coming up, I think, in May as well for that. So we'll try and cover that. He is from the Atlanta Falcons, and he's in a lot of trouble. So thank you, everyone. As I say, Alternate Corner crew, you'll be zoomed out. Everyone else, thank you for that. Please like, subscribe, look at all the videos, and yeah, leave some comments. With that, everyone's Twitter, thank you. Take care, everyone. See you all in a little bit. Take care. Goodbye.